Charlotte with Share with Charlotte podcast, where emphasis is placed on finding balance in relationships. I am the creator and host, and I want to welcome you again to a new episode. And this particular one is titled, When is the Right Time? For timing is everything. And before I get into this particular one, let me just go back and reflect on the last one, which is life's growing pain. And if you have not yet viewed that one or took the time to listen, please do so. And the reason being is because life's growing pain is when life shifts. We go through these different highs and lows of life, but growing pain is how God grows you and how he builds you and how he allow you to see more of him. But in the end, ultimately, it's a win for you, even though you don't see it when you're going through life's growing pain. But really, it is. Part of your journey, part of your life journey to even grow. So on that note, let me now reflect back on what's new, and that is when is the right time? But timing is everything. Do you know that we live so much in our life dealing with the timing of everything and when is the right time? And I'm talking about almost every aspect of your life. You look at time. When is the right time? When is the right time to get married? When is the right time to even get divorced? When is the right time to have children? What about your next child? Is the right time to go seek that new job or ask for a promotion? When is the right time to have surgery? When is the right time to when you have kids to allow them to wear makeup or to date? When's the right time to, if you lost a loved one, to even step back out into life again, to open your heart to someone else to love? When is the right time? When's the right time for anything? What are you going through right now that you're trying to seek your timing? When is the right time for you to make that decision that you're wrestling with right now? Not wanting to get it wrong, because if you get it wrong and it's not the right time, then can be unraveled. And you can create havoc for yourself because you didn't wait. Because timing is everything. First of all, as human, we're one who's going to rush a lot of time into situation because we are not patient. We want to get things and have things in the now because that's what we feel. We're creatures of emotions, and we feel, and what we feel is often what we want, and we don't like to wait. But timing is everything, because if you choose the time in which you move on something, that alone can allow you to have more issues than what you would have to if you just wait for the proper timing. I know when I first married, I wasn't ready and shouldn't have been married. My husband wasn't even ready to be married, but we married anyway. And we had a lot of issues during that marriage because two of us were not ready to be married, but we didn't want to lose each other. I didn't want him to go out and find somebody else or be with someone else. He said want the same. He didn't want to lose me. So we married. But truly, the timing was off. Even though we moved in saying, well, when is the right time? And we're like, well, let's go ahead and do it. Because what you don't want to do is move at your own pace, thinking that you'll just get it right as you go. Because most time, as you know, you really don't just get it right as you go. And a lot of things when we do things on our own and we move within our own timeline, we have a lot of issues that you wouldn't necessarily have had to have. Because when God's timing is in place, you want the blessing of your Father. And that's why you want things to line up with his will based on his timing, not based on yours. Because in life, we're dealing with a lot of things in life that comes up, and it's about the timing to do this, the timing to do that. And we're wrestling with it as to when is the right time. But if you don't seek counsel from God, if you don't seek approval from God, if you just go out on your own, hoping and wishing and waiting and just wanting this thing to happen, then you're leaving God detached from your plan. You're leaving him detached. You want the blessing of your Father. Because God is the one who orchestrates, He's the one who orders everything, He's the one who controls everything. And so you want the blessing of your Father so He can bless your effort, so He can bless your work, so He can bless your decision as to what you made. And when I look at my life and I'm thinking, so what should that entail? I'm telling you everything. You tell me something that God is not in, that you're trying to do that's considered good. God is in every aspect of your life. So you seek Him on a daily. So whatever choices you make, whatever decisions you make, your walk should always involve Him walking with you. And sometimes He's walking ahead of you because He's leading you. And just like your decision, so when is the right time? The right time is God's time. It's not your time. It's not man's time. It's not your friend time. It's not your husband time. It's God's time. That's why even when people tell you to do something, you pray on it because you don't know where these people are in their decision to tell you what to do. You pray on it. You make sure you connect with God in your decisions you make based on what man has told you. But you make sure it lines up with God's timing. Because God wants you to succeed. He's your Father. He wants you to do well. He wants to bless you, but He just don't want you to get ahead of Him. And if you're ahead of Him, then that means you've left Him. So you're doing things on your own, wanting things to work out. But what you're really doing is creating habit within whatever decision you made. And then you wonder what happened, why I didn't make it, why I failed. I tried, I gave it my all. But you have to go back to the beginning. Did you bring God in with you? Did you wait for Him to tell you? Or you were just anxious because you saw it and you just wanted it for yourself because you saw it? Because again, what I said, we're people and we're creatures of emotions. And what feels good, or what we think gonna feel good, we're ready to act on it because we like that feeling. I shared in my last episode, and that is, it took me 2 years to make the move that I know God said make. And I'm saying this for a reason, sharing this because what God had for me, He was waiting on me. It was God timing. 2 years of me not being obedient because the timing was right. But when is the right time? I just didn't feel it was the right time for me, even though it was God's timing. So I was disobedient in that. But what I love about that story and about that journey that I was on is that God didn't give up on me because I was delayed for 2 years. He held that for me. He held that door open for me for the next job that He wanted me to have, which was with the school district. Because even sometimes when is the right time and we're late in God's timing, a lot of time God will still keep that door open for you. Because what I realized is that what God had for me was for me. He didn't shut that door because He really wanted me to step into working with those kids within a school district to help those kids stay out of the juvenile detention, to be labeled as a criminal, to be labeled as a delinquent kid, to be labeled as a throwaway. He held that door open for me for 2 years. And I thank God for that because He didn't have to do that. But sometimes God will shut that door on you and He's not going to open it for you because He shut it. You had your moment, you had the time which He gave you, and you didn't move on it. So sometimes doors are shut and sometimes they're locked. But in this instance, God left that door open for 2 years so I could enter. And I thank God for that. Thank you, Lord, keeping that door open for me. But when you look at when is the right time, you got to seek God in your decision on all things and everything you do. You might say, well, it's not a big deal, but to God, it's all a big deal because He wants you to seek Him. He wants you to want to use Him. He wants you to trust Him. He wants you to be, want to be in every aspect of your life, all your decisions. Ask God about it. Is it the right time, God? Is it the right timing that you have designed in my life for me to do this? But some of those things are small things that you decide on, but some of these things are just big things, big decisions you make, and you just run off on your own, hoping it just all work out. You haven't seeked God, you haven't prayed over it, you haven't asked His permission, you haven't talked to Him to see if there's something He wants for you to even be involved in or to do. You just do it. But God wants you to come to Him, to talk to Him, so He can bless you in your journey and He can tell you your timing is my timing. Your time is my timing. And the two of you are in sync. Whatever that decision you make, you're walking in together with that decision. And you want that. But God's timing overrides your timing all the time. God's timing overrides your time at all times. It's always about Him first. And I want you to just know that God always wants the best for His people, for His children. He looks out for you. He's already putting things in place for you. You want to go back to school. You want to start that career. You want to be an entrepreneur, step out on faith, on finding that business that you've always desired. You want to take trips. You want to start your family because you learned and you yearned for a family. You want this man that you love already married. This man want this wife because I see her as my wife. It doesn't matter where you are in life, what your decisions are. It doesn't matter what it is. You want God to be in the midst of it. You want His blessing. So when is the right time? Have you taken it to God? Or you just on your own, just out there? Have you taken it to God? Have you prayed over it? Have you sought His counsel? Have you? Or you just decided it's just what you want and I'm just going to do it now because it seemed like the right time. Let me tell you something. When you say it seems like the right time, that's not God. Because God doesn't seem, God knows. If it seems like the right time, that's you. If it seems like it's something I want to do, that's you. Because God is all knowing. So that's not Him, that's you. Because God is all knowing. He knows. He knows the timing in which He wants you to step out. He knows the timing and He wants you to have a shift in life. He knows the timing in which He wants to elevate you. He knows the timing in which He wants you to just be all in and that you know that this is Him. He has the timing. It's only God's timing. And His timing is always the right time. And we just cannot get caught up in ourselves and what pleases us and what makes us feel good because we want this and we want it now. We can't wait. We think it's not going to come back around again if I let it get away. We think this is our last chance. We think that this is all I got. We think that nobody's going to love us like this person loves us. We think that if we don't do it right now, we'll lose everything or every opportunity. And I'm telling you, if it's not in God's timing, if it's not in the order in which he designed things to happen for you, then it's within your time, not his timing. And just know again that what God has for you is for you. No man can take that away from you. Nothing can take that away from you except God himself. But truly, and I mean truly, God is in the blessing business. He wants to bless you, but he wants you to do it his way and within his timing. So don't get so caught up in what you think you missed, because the very thing you missed may be the very thing that God protected you from. Just know that. The very thing you think you missed, that you can't get over, it could be the very thing that God protected you from. Because everything you think you want in life or feel you need in life, it's not always good for you. God protects us from a lot of things. That's why sometimes you're like, I want it now. And God said, no, wait. But God's timing is perfect. Did you ever wonder? And I recall a time when on the freeway there was this major accident, and I witnessed it. And I had just been delayed, literally maybe about 1 minute or so. It wasn't long, but I was late anyway, and I was trying to get there. And I was frustrated with myself because I was delayed. And I was just like, man, I need to get out this door. But I wondered if I had gotten out that door at the time that I was really trying to get out that door, would I have also been involved in that accident? But I was delayed with a purpose, because God's timing kept me safe. God's timing kept me safe because I was just delayed by just a short time, but just short enough to not allow me to be in that critical accident where people died. He protected me. And I'm just saying, God's timing is also your shield of protection because he wants you to get it right. Don't be mad at him because it didn't happen because you want it to happen when you want it to happen. Because God protects us from ourselves and our own decision, because we move a lot of time at our own pace and our own time and within our own time, and we get it wrong. God gets it right. So I just want to leave you, and that is, it doesn't matter, again, what you're going through in life, how big decision, how small decision. God want to be in every aspect of your life so he can be there with you, for you. And he wants you to come to him so that when you make those moves, he moves with you. You take him with you, whether he's leading or whether he's walking with you. But you don't want to step into nothing and you step into it just on your own. That's not good. It's not good to do that because you don't know what all you stepping into. You want God to be all in there when you step in and step out of something. Because sometimes you're stepping out, not just stepping in. And whatever that is, you want God to be the one who leads you on whatever that is. So I want you to assess where you are in life. What decision are you really trying to make right now? It don't have to be big decision. It could be small decision. But what decision are you trying to make? Because if you're wrestling with something, God has not yet confirmed that. If you're wrestling, unless you're wrestling like I did, and not want to be obedient, I was wrestling with the obedience of it, even though I knew. But if you're not sure about something, and you're still trying to make that decision, but you're not sure, that's because God has not yet spoken in your spirit And you want him to speak in your spirit to tell you it's okay, it's your time. This is your moment. You want his blessing because God will give you peace in your decision. God is a God of peace. He will give you peace in your decision because you know you're being obedient to his calling, whatever it is. Whatever it is, you assess where you are. You allow God to lead you to wherever that is that you're trying to make a decision on. Because our whole life, every day is based on some decision we have to make, big or small. We make decisions. So in the prayer in the morning, just like God be with me in every and all things that I do and every and all things that you lead me to do. Let you lead me, not man lead me, not my emotions lead me, but you lead me, God, in every decision, everything that I make throughout this day. I want you to be in every aspect of whatever it is that I do and what I say. I pray that because every day is an opportunity to see God in your life. Every day is an opportunity. But God is just a God who just wants to bless you, be with you, be intimate with you, love you, you to love on him. He just wants that. So all of this matters to him. So I want to leave that with you. Think about where you are in life. Think about that decision so you don't make the wrong decision within the timing of which you choose your time. Let it be God's timing. So on that, I want to say thank you for tuning in to this particular new episode. But all of this is all part of finding balance in your relationship with yourself. Because when you choose the wrong time to step out or do things, it takes you off balance. So we want to stay in balance with ourselves and everything throughout life. We want to stay in balance. So I encourage you um, to check me out on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram. Visit my website, www.sharewithcharlotte.com. Subscribe and follow and be a part of my podcast community. I would love to continue to share more with you, different episodes and different topics. And as I've always said, if there's something you want me to speak more on, please send comments. If you choose to maybe you want to be a guest and be a part of this podcast where you feel like you can be a blessing to someone in your story, because we all have a story. And our story is never our own story, but God give us to us to be a blessing to someone else. So I thank you. And again, I look forward to the next episode of Share with Charlotte. And I'll see you then. Thank you so much.